Hey, what's up? This is Kevin from Kevin's BBQ Joints, and this one is a good one. This is super enjoyable, and you're going to learn a lot from it. It's with Jonny White from Jirby BBQ. He's also from Goldee's BBQ. He's an owner. He's 1/5 owner of Goldee's BBQ in Fort Worth, Texas. It's actually Kennedale. He'll explain that in the interview. I'm really excited because I wanted to get his take on the whole Goldee's thing. His pedigree in barbecue is fantastic. He worked at La Barbecue. He worked at Valentina's. He worked at Franklin Barbecue, and all the guys in Goldee's they all have a lot of experience. His path is very unique, and it's interesting to hear what it was like working at all those spots. And we get into detail about, say you're listening to this or watching this from somewhere outside of Texas or even in Texas, and you want to get a job at a barbecue spot, what he recommends, the place that he recommends, which is interesting but makes a lot of sense. But also too, if that is something that is still feasible, you might not be able to do his exact path, but you can get a chance to really cut your teeth. And it was because of all of the places that they worked at and the experience that they gained that they had the ability and the confidence to open up Goldee's. And he talks too about where they were going to be, because I didn't know that part. And then we talk about, he has a YouTube channel, and I'll put a link below, and I'm going to do a separate blog piece just on his YouTube channel. It is awesome, and it's not super polished, and that's very Jonny, and that's perfect. I think the channel's going to blow up. And there's a video on how to build a cinder block pit, and we talk about this, an offset cinder block pit. For around $200 at Lowe's or Home Depot, you can get all the supplies, and if you have the space, you could recreate an offset pit. You can tell that he has his wheels always turning. And of course, we talk about Goldee's. I talk a lot about Goldee's and like what time to get there, when they sell out, what they're offering, the classes that they're going to be doing there, and then also Jonny is going to be doing, and he does consulting, and he does classes on his own. And he had a consulting job, which is very interesting. We talk at the very end, which involves Egypt, which is interesting. So there's a lot of things we touch upon. Oh, also of course, he's a welder, and he's going to be making a pit. He's going to be making a couple pits, and then he's going to be making backyard pits. So there's so many little layers to unpack. I think by the end of this, you'll really get to know who Jonny is. You'll know more about Goldee's, and you'll want to check out his YouTube channel and see more of the things that he has to offer. And Jonny, I can't thank you enough for taking the time, and I look forward to a part 2 and other videos with you. The Kevin's BBQ Joints podcast and YouTube show is brought to you by Flores Tortillas. You can get them at florestortillas.com every Monday at 10 a.m. They go on sale. I would recommend going and getting a dozen and shipping them to yourself, and then getting a dozen and shipping them to friends or family. You'll make them very happy. They're made with smoked beef tallow. They're fantastic. Michael Wyatt, he has incredible experience in the barbecue world, and now he's putting that into tortillas that are at a bunch of different barbecue joints across the United States. And like I said, you can ship them anywhere. Again, that's florestortillas.com and Flores Tortillas on all the social media. Make yourself out. And we're also brought to you by Centex Smokers. Check him out on Instagram at Centex_smokers. You're going to love his posts. Every day he's posting something really cool. A really cool shot of either a pit he's building or a part of a pit he's building. How exquisite things are. He's really growing into himself as a pit builder. You can check his stuff out at a lot of different places now. He's 12 to 14 months out for lead time. Again, it's Centex_smokers out of Luling, Texas. He's doing really amazing stuff. And if you're enjoying these, please subscribe. That way you don't miss out, and hit the bell notification button. And if you like this video, like it, because it helps the algorithm, makes more people get a chance to see Jonny. I have a website at kevinsbbqjoints.com. Links to all the podcast, YouTube stuff, as well as tons of lists of things that I think are very useful for people in the barbecue world. But at the end, stay safe. Have a great week, and enjoy this with Jonny White. Morning, Jonny. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. So today, you guys are open. What days are you guys open?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Sunday. Okay.
Friday, Sunday, 11 to 3.
11 to 3. So being today Wednesday, what do you usually, are you over there, or how far away do you live?
I live in Fort Worth. I live like 15 minutes away from it. The restaurant's in Fort Worth, but it's technically in Kennedale. When you come out there, you'll be like, yeah, this is Kennedale. But yeah, I live about 15 minutes away from it. So yesterday I went up there and I trimmed some briskets for Tuesday. And Monday's kind of the day off. It's kind of the day that the order comes, and that's really the only thing we have to do. Is put the order up on Mondays. Tuesdays we trim and trim ribs, trim brisket, prep the sausage. Today we'll be prepping sides, making bread, all that good stuff. And then I'll probably just do some maintenance stuff like cut the grass and random stuff like that.
Make sure there's no like random cups or cigarettes or things around. And
Yes,
I see.
exactly.
So is it weird to have like to have five guys there, and are all five of you guys there all the time?
At the beginning we were. Now not so much, but at the beginning, yeah, all five of us were there pretty much every day doing everything. Recently, it's just kind of me, Lane, and Jalen, and then we have Nupon's brother and Pete, which is Hudson Barbecue. We have all them there, so we have a couple helpers, and then we have us and Nupon's still comes and helps whenever we need him. And then Dylan is at the ranch in Colorado.
At the ranch in Colorado, is it? Does he have a ranch in Colorado? So this is gonna be like the most random people. Are like, what are you guys even talking about?
I figure people already know. But if you follow him on Instagram or whatever, he works on a ranch in Colorado.
Oh,
so basically, he lives on the ranch and he does like ranch stuff. Which
I've seen him doing ranch stuff, but I always thought it was like just for like random fun things. Or
yeah, he hasn't been at the restaurant for maybe a year, almost a year.
Really?
Yeah. No, he still comes and visits and stuff, but he hasn't really worked there or been up there or anything.
Oh wow. Okay, so he's a ranch guy in Colorado.
He's ranching it up.
You know what? What a cool thing.
Yeah,
I'd like to ranch it up for a year. That would that's my new goal. Thank you for giving me, Johnny. A new goal in life is ranch it up somewhere. So anyway, so did you grow up in Texas?
I was born in Georgia. I lived there until I was like 9, and I still went back there every summer. But I moved to Arlington when I was in second grade or third grade, and I've lived there ever since.
Okay.
And then after that, we all moved to Austin and lived there for a while. But yeah, I would say mainly I've lived in Texas my whole life.
When you say you all, I mean like you and your friends or your family? Okay.
All the owners of Goldee's after high school, we all went to Arlington Martin High School together in Arlington, and then after high school, we all moved to Austin, and we just lived there for probably 5 years, and that's where we got our barbecue experience, all of our restaurant experience, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Because you had your resume is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's where it happened. Just all down in Austin, we were all living in a house together, and we were just all working at different barbecue places, and kept it on the hush hush. But but we made it work.
How much fun was that then?
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. I mean, we had a smoker in the backyard, and we would basically, every day we had off together, we were all cooking barbecue together, pretty much, and learning and figuring stuff out, and working at these restaurants, and dialing a bunch of stuff in, and then we were like, okay, well, let's open a restaurant.
But did you think like because it was you, Dylan, and Lane, or was
Jalen and Nupon were living with us?
Oh, Jalen and Nupon were there too. Oh, okay.
All living there together, and Nupon was like a general manager of like a Thai restaurant and in Austin, and Jalen was working at Bangers, and he worked at Friedman's with Lane, and Dylan was obviously Terry Black's, Truth, La Barbecue, all that good stuff, and Lane, Friedman's, Micklethwait. And I worked at La Barbecue, Valentina's, and Franklin. And I think it was when I got the job at Franklin, I think we were all like, okay, let's like, get serious about, opening a restaurant. Because I think, once that happened, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure we can do this.
Yeah, because you had enough experience at that time. So, but did you say what was the first place that you worked at? Was it La Barbecue or?
Yeah, first barbecue job was at La Barbecue. That was right when Dylan had worked there for like 9 months. And then they promoted him to cook after, a bunch of stuff went down. And so he was cooking, and they needed a cutter. And I was hired to cut the briskets basically that he was cooking. And I did that for probably about like 6 to 8 months.
What location was that at?
That was it was like Cesar Chavez. It was a food truck at the time, and they had 2,000 gallons, and it was just in a lot with other food trucks.
How long did you work at La Barbecue?
Probably, I think it was like 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just cutting, and but it was nice because I got to help Dylan, learn having someone there to cut your food is a big deal,
Mm-hmm.
like that you can trust and that they're on the same page with. That's a huge deal. So able to help him, get good at cooking pretty quickly, and then once he was good, and I felt like pretty much anyone can cut his food now and, serve it and it'd be good. And then I really wanted to cook. So that's why I left. But they wouldn't really they wouldn't let me cook too, because obviously at the time, me and Dylan were both like 20, 21. So I think it was probably smart for them to, but I mean, we would have went off and did our thing, but that's like the idea is like, a couple 21-year-olds back there probably be goofing around or whatever. So
yeah. What was that like? I was always wondered, what was it like your first few days there? Do you know how to properly cut brisket? Did you know all that because you guys were cooking at home, or?
I knew a little bit, just a bit, and Allie really helped me. She taught me a lot about how to cut and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
So I cut it, how I think Allie was cutting at the time, maybe. And then, yeah, she's the one that trained me how to cut.
Or was it but the volume of people and like because like when I remember for me, I'm like, it was just too much. Like it wasn't too much, but it was like, wow, like you gotta be focused properly. It's a whole different thing. Like this, it's not like when like I want people to know that when you go to cut, when you have a cutter at a barbecue spot, like it's an important facet of that business. Yeah.
Yeah, it was intense. I mean, the line, always seeing a line is nerve wracking to me. Even still, like Goldee's, when I see a line, like it's just I get freaked out. Like I just want to get through it. The lines are like a big deal in barbecue, but I really really don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Like
a little anxiety.
I get through it as fast as I can. So I'm not always like super talkative when I'm cutting. Like I do the, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? Stuff like that. But really when I'm up there, I'm cutting as fast as I can. And that's why I've gotten good at cutting so fast. But I mean, I'm focused on cutting really. And the talk is the second, like I'm just focused on cutting. So I learned that at La Barbecue for sure. Like, I mean, they weren't, like at Franklin, they would push me to, be more talkative, but at La Barbecue, I don't think they really care. They just did the same thing. They wanted me to just get through that line, and serve as much food as I could.
Get people in through it as quickly as possible and in a proper way.
Yeah. That's really what you want to do. I want to, talk to every customer and, make sure that they're doing good and stuff like that. But like, it's not the same, I can't really do that with the line out there.
Yeah, well, it's just an interesting thing, and I think that the cutter is like the unheralded person. Like people don't really think much. They don't. I don't know. They think that that's the person just randomly cutting meat. Where it's a whole thing, and it's also you have to do it properly, and then you have to figure out a lot of times like what a half a pound is or fully. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just my California brain too. It's just like wow.
Yeah. It is tough. I really just, if I'm training someone now, I really just tell them, just focus on, cutting and let talk to the customer a little bit. But really, I at Goldee's, we'll have the, the sides guy talk to the customer while I'm cutting the meat. And
that makes sense. That's a smart idea.
And then I talk to him a little bit while the sides guys getting the sides. So we kind of switch. That way, basically, I get up there, I get their whole meat order as fast as I can. Like, because we got menus everywhere. Because that's the first thing. You got to have menus everywhere because they need to come up to the line or to the front. Idea. Know exactly what they want, right? Because that's the best way to move the line. Mm-hmm. They can't get there and then look at the menu behind you.
That's good advice.
I do have one back there, but you need to have one like while they're waiting everywhere so they can see it and think about it the whole time that they're waiting. But so yeah, I get the meat order and then the size guy, we'll jump in and talk. And then when I'm getting close to the end of the meats, then we'll get the sides, and then I'll jump in and talk. And that's kind of how we'll move the line.
That's interesting, and we'll talk about your YouTube channel in a little bit. But if someone wants to kind of learn or at least get a bird's eye view of cutting, you have 12 minutes of you cutting, like 12 minutes, like it's just rad. Like it's like insane, but it's like awesome. So
12 minutes is actually an hour and 40 minutes.
So you put that. Yeah. That makes sense.
I sped it up. I sped it. It's an hour and 40 minutes all sped up. You can get on YouTube and you can slow it down and just literally just watch it like on your TV or whatever. That's
cool. That actually would be like a cool background thing. Like if I had a second monitor, have that just
Exactly. So that is something with that YouTube video, I just wanted to show people, just cutting and mm-hmm. me going fast and how it works and
because you're cutting brisket, you're cutting pork ribs, you're cutting turkey, you're doing, like it's really So I actually, Johnny, I didn't watch it. I watched it because I was watching it last night and I was like just staring at it, and it's really cool, and so on there. So we'll talk about your YouTube channel in a little bit, but that's so then from there, is that when you went to Valentina's?
And then yeah, I went to Valentina's. I
Which
worked
is
there.
different than La Barbecue. I'm sure that
Yeah,
whole yeah.
it's still just a hot food truck. But it wasn't too much different, but it's just a little food truck and a trailer that's like ventilated, and that's just how a lot of those awesome food truck places are. But
For sure.
I worked there for I think maybe 6 months.
Okay.
And basically same thing. I mean, there they were really open to teaching me pretty much everything. I worked the line, cooked all the food, pulled the briskets, trimmed the briskets. I mean,
Wow.
everything. So did all the prep. Honestly, Valentino's was by far the hardest barbecue place like that I worked at. Like my schedule there was like 3 p.m. to 3 a.m.
That's nuts. That's tough.
5 days a week. So and I was busy for the whole 12 hours. Like I was like always in the weeds. And
Well, I talked over you. Did you say 5 days a week or 4?
5 days a week. Yeah, I was going off there. Honestly, I was working. Like I was like, dang, this is tough. This is really, but I enjoyed it though. I mean, they're really cool, and the food is amazing, obviously, and
Yeah.
I got to work with some mesquite wood, so that was a big deal for me because I had never done that, and obviously want to learn about that. And
Can you talk a little bit about that?
the mesquite wood,
Yeah, like the difference, like yeah.
they use mesquite wood. You won't like get a huge flavor blast of it on the brisket or whatever, because they wrap the briskets in foil pretty early on in the cook, so they get that right amount of mesquite flavor on there basically. So it won't taste like it a lot, but you'll get a little bit of it, which is what you want, because mesquite can be like super overpowering. So we used that, and the logs were cut pretty small. They burned super fast. So I mean, I was constantly adding wood. So it kind of was like kind of an inefficient, like I couldn't really hold temps very long. But other than that, I mean I like the mesquite wood. I mean,
Why do you think they chose mesquite? Is it just that's what they do, or that?
said that's what he grew up cooking with. So he's just sticking with it, which is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he's nailed it. So that's perfect.
Interesting. So they don't. So it's an all mesquite or a blend, or?
Yeah, it's all mesquite. All mesquite.
So do you think that you learn, because also again, I can refer to your YouTube channel, you show how to stack the wood properly, like how to build a fire. Did you learn how to build a fire there? Or how do you know?
A different style of fire. Yeah, I don't really go over that in the YouTube video, but I can do something like that. If I ever do a YouTube video like cooking with mesquite wood, I think I would
Yeah,
build
that'd be
it like
nice. I don't think I've ever seen one really.
yeah. I think I'd build it like I did at Valentina's. I think they had a really good method for using mesquite wood. But the fire style in the video is more La Barbecue.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of like what I've just learned in my techniques, basically.
Okay. So then from there, were you planning on like, because that's grueling. That's really grueling. And I can see why it's like, I've talked to a number of people that said it's a hard job at Valentina's.
Yeah.
And they're actually, I think I saw something last night. They're shutting down for like a week or two soon, coming up at the end of this month. And they said also too, I think they noted that it was hot and hot in the trailer. So you're validating that now. Then you went to Franklin from there?
Yeah, from Valentina's. I mean, the whole time I was in Austin, I was applying at Franklin because obviously that's where you want to work basically. Yeah. But yeah, I was working there, and I got the interview at Franklin, and I talked with Benji, and then honestly, I was ready to leave Valentina's because, like I said, it was really hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know about this anymore. But also, I wanted to learn more stuff anyway.
Yeah. That was your goal.
Yeah, that's cool. So to learn as much as I could. So, yeah, I got that job at Franklin, and I was out at Valentina's.
What were you doing at Franklin?
Well, originally I was there to cut brisket because they were just opening that to-go trailer in the back.
Okay.
So I was, but they put me on sides, so I was just doing sides up front for a really long time.
How does that? Is that something that's not as exciting?
I mean, I was just grabbing sides for customers. I mean,
yeah.
It is what it is, I did it. I mean, because I was still around what I wanted to learn, so I did it. But
did you end up slicing there? Like, were you a cutter there too?
So I mean, I worked there for 3 years. I'm staying a long time. I did sides for like 6 months, which
Okay,
is like,
okay. I have to say because I knew you were there for almost 3 years. I'm like sides for 3 years. That's why I mentioned not exciting. That doesn't sound exciting.
I say it for a long time because it felt like forever to me because I wanted to cook, but they
Yeah.
pretty much they wouldn't let me. I mean, they didn't ask me in my interview how old I was, but they eventually found out, obviously, that I was like 21, and it totally freaked them out, and they didn't want me to cook, and so I was super bummed out, but I just kept like pushing and pushing, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna quit then if I can't cook, and I think that then they're like, okay, you can cook, and because I mean, I was gonna quit. I was like, okay, well, I don't think my age is that big a deal, but I'm
You already
21.
had two pretty big places as
Yeah,
experience, yeah, for
exactly.
experience, yeah.
I had a lot of experience, and obviously I was ready to learn. I was ready to go off, and I wanted to be really good at cooking. So that was really discouraging, but I stuck around, and they eventually let me cook, and then I eventually was I threatened to quit, and every time, and I got to do every single position I wanted to do.
I don't know if that's necessarily advice, but would you give advice though to someone not that part, but like if say you wanted to like this day and age, if you wanted to learn, could you move to Austin? Could someone listening to this now who lives in Ohio or somewhere move to Austin and get jobs at these places, or is it a lot harder than when you were doing it?
No, I think you could. I think
I guess a lot
I
of
mean,
people are hiring still, right? Like that's
yeah,
because of
yeah.
COVID.
Maybe not Franklin, but probably probably Valentina's, probably like somewhere like Terry Black's.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Terry Black's has become like the new like stepping stone.
It
Like
seems like it, huh?
yeah, I think I think it's great because I think Terry Black's is the place to go. I mean, if you're trying to learn how to cook barbecue,
Especially yeah, the volume and
the volume, they have a ton of employees. They're cooking a lot of really good food on the
Mhm.
offset that you want to learn how to cook on, and I really think that Terry Black's is probably the best bet if you wanted to go and learn, for a little bit. I don't know if they would like that, but
They probably would more so want a long-term employee. But
they probably don't have the turnover rate, but it seems like I mean, that's what happens.
yeah.
But I mean, and they also pay really well, honestly. I mean, I think Terry Black's is great. So,
Well, and if they open a Lockhart location, then that's another option for
yeah,
someone. Like there's Dallas, Lockhart, and Austin. That'll be
yeah, yeah. And that Lockhart one is, I mean, that one's gonna be insane. I think that'd be the most fun restaurant to work at, probably. Like
uh-huh.
if I could go back and work at a barbecue restaurant, it'd be Terry Black's and Lockhart for sure.
Wow.
Uh, because it's gonna have the most like drama, the most. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it'll just be the most fun place to work at. I
Yeah.
mean,
Especially like at the beginning, like right at the beginning. That would
yeah, there'd be a lot of drama, and I think that'd be the it'd just be fun. It'd be fun.
yeah, yeah. From there, you guys did you guys even talk about opening your own place back, like joke about it early in the day, or was that something that after you guys had enough experience, you're like, we gotta
No,
just
we did.
do this?
I think we were already thinking about it, and then like I said, once I got that job at Franklin, it was like, okay, let's do this. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in there. I want to learn everything about barbecue, and yeah, I think once I got the job there, I was like, either way, I mean, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So because I mean, I mean, any restaurant you open up now, if you hear someone worked at Franklin or whatever, it'll be like somewhat busy. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's a big deal. Obviously, that's so we're like, why not? Why not? They have a lot of great experience too. So I mean, it just all worked out like that.
Did you guys I forget what Layden said, like were you thinking Fort Worth the whole time?
No, I think we were thinking Dallas,
Dallas?
and then I really wanted to open up in Arlington, because I felt like it had the best like the in between, and it lacked like a really good barbecue
True.
place. Uh, and we looked the building that Hurtado's is in. Hurtado's.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say that Hurtado, like they lacked good barbecue until Hurtado's. Really.
So that before Brandon opened up in that building, we actually looked at that building.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was actually where we were going to open up in Arlington, and we had some investors, and we were ready to go. And then we got down to it, and we were like, we sat down with our investors and we talked money and stuff, and we were like, I don't know about. I mean, we were like 23, so we were like, wow, this is a lot of money, and this there's a lot of pressure, and I think we just wanted to do something a little bit more chill.
That makes
and
sense.
So we found this building in Kennedale, and it's $2,000 a month, and it's on rent, and that's
crazy.
that's chill. So I mean, and people will travel for barbecue. So anyone who's looking to open a barbecue restaurant, find a little building, and I think people will come. It worked out for us, but I think people will definitely travel for barbecue. But like I said, that's just how it worked out. We found that little building. It was the cheapest one that we could afford, just us five, being the owners, so that's how that worked out.
Funny that you at the beginning you said something like, it's Kennedale. How do I know? How would I know it's Kennedale? It's just what does that mean when you say that?
Well, so Fort Worth is you think of the buildings and the nice downtown and everything, but you driving out to this place in Fort Worth. It says Fort Worth. I mean, you're taking back roads and you're in the country. There's nothing out
so it's
there.
the country.
Yeah, it's the country, and then you're you're walking around and or you're driving out there and you're you don't see anything, just a couple houses and that and this and that, and then there's a big sign on the side of the road that says barbecue, and that's us.
That's cool. That's great. Okay, so that's good to people, because people probably are listening going, because I know that you guys are on many people's lists, and so and possibly in a few months from now you might get even crazier list, but I think that that's good for people to know, because neither Dylan nor Lane mentioned that, what it's like to. I knew that they're it's in the middle of nowhere, but I looked it on the map, and I'm created a barbecue finder thing, and when I zoom in on the map, you could see there's dotted other places, but it's also, when you're looking at a map, something that's 50 miles away, it looks like it's right there, but it's
and it's not it's not we're super far out. It's just that it's just where we are.
You're not.
Yeah,
it's not like building and then you guys. It's
yeah.
So what was it like that first weekend when you guys opened, and what do you guys? I've done other interviews with guys at Goldee's, but I want to talk about what you guys offer, so that way people know, and then I want to talk about your YouTube show.
Yeah. Okay. That first weekend that we opened was crazy. It was awesome. Basically, we opened up just just a Saturday. We knew we were going to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday going forward, but we just opened up on just did one day, just to get a feel for the building and get a feel for the line and get a feel for service and everything. And we did 50 briskets, and we did, I think it was 28 racks of ribs, and I think it did 16 turkeys, and then just an insane amount of sausage, and we sold out in I think 3 hours.
Wow.
We sold out at 2:00, and we had this crazy long line. There wasn't enough parking spots. There was it was a total mess out there, but it went really well, and everyone loved it, and it was an amazing day, honestly.
Were people eating on their cars and stuff? Was that kind of how that was that time?
It didn't get that bad, but we were we had enough seating. It was just there was no more parking outside, basically, and the line was wrapped through the parking lot, and it was just a mess. But that was the first day, and then the next 3 weekends were really, really, really good. We did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We were still doing 30, 40 briskets a day, and that was amazing. And then we shut down
because of COVID.
Yeah, because COVID.
Not because of you guys got COVID, because of the pandemic.
We got too busy. We had to shut down.
You're so busy. You just had to shut down, take a breather. Yeah, because that's what most business. That's a smart business decision.
Yeah.
Stop. Once you're ahead, and you're it's go away, and then everybody dream about you guys forever.
Yeah, exactly. We're just out of there.
Dylan left. Dylan went to Colorado. Your plans are to do a YouTube show, and
that was it. We said one good month, and we're good. We made it.
So then and I think I talked to Lane about how you guys kind of had to the stupid word pivot and do a lot of all that to go stuff and we closed down for a month, and then we just did curbside for a whole year, and we just recently opened up the dining room not so long ago again, and this weekend we got back to doing 20, 24 briskets, so I think things are getting back to normal, and we're super pumped up. So we're super excited. So it's going to be back. It'll be back to normal. Is there something that is there a goal in mind? Would you want to do 50 briskets again a day? Would that be something, or is that just insanity for the grand opening?
I think that was just a grand opening thing, unless something crazy came out about it, like some kind of article came out about us. I don't see us doing 50 briskets probably ever again.
Yeah. What are you guys cooking on?
We got two offset 1,000-gallon mill scale smokers.
Ah, mill scale. I've heard of
Yeah,
them. They said they're pretty good.
yeah. I worked with those guys at Franklin, and they're super cool dudes, and it worked out perfect. They branched off right when I branched off, so it was ready to go. It was
That's
perfect.
perfect. Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Those guys, yeah, they're like from afar, because I've never personally met them, but I've talked to them so many times, and they've always been so nice and so generous, and they seem like they really care about what they do.
They're two really really nice dudes. They're really,
Yeah.
really
So it's 11 to sold out. Are people lining up around 10? I just want to kind of give people an idea, and then how quickly do you guys usually sell out?
well. This weekend right now, it was the Father's Day weekend, and people did line up. Like 10:30, which is the first time I've seen since the first day for the first month we were open. No one really did that for curbside. No one has really done that since we opened up the dining room. I think everyone just gets there at 11. And like I said, we have a lot of regulars, and even the people that don't know, they get there at 11. But if I get a line of 30 people at 11, I still I get through that like nothing. So
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
yeah, if you see a line, I promise I'm going as fast as I can, and
Yeah.
I'll get to you very quickly, because I don't want you to wait.
Yeah.
That's a barbecue thing. People will wait, but I don't want it, and I'm gonna cut as fast as I can and get to you.
Yeah. And you come from like a school of trying to get people through quickly. So that's
Yeah.
are you generally the cutter?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say me or Lane are usually cutting, but for the most part, recently it's been me. So yeah, I would say cutting a lot.
Do you have indoor and outdoor seating, or is it just
We have like 40 seats inside, and we have probably like 8 picnic tables.
oh wow,
So we
okay.
got a lot of seating.
A lot of
That
seating.
and that's because if we do get really busy, and I want to cut as fast as I can, I have to have a lot of seats. That goes hand in hand, and
Yeah.
so we have a lot of seats, so I can cut as fast as I want, and I never have to worry about they're not being a table open.
Yeah. And what's on your menu for people that might not know?
On the menu, so meat wise, we just got brisket, ribs, turkey, and sausage, and then for the sides, potato salad, coleslaw, beans, and cheesy grits, and then we have like our homemade pickles, homemade bread, homemade sauce, and then we have banana pudding and bread pudding.
How is that making your own bread?
That's not too bad. I mean, it really isn't that bad. People
I
really
don't think
like it.
I don't. There's not that many people making their own bread.
No, I mean, probably only like Mickle weight.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to. I can't really think of.
I
Who
can't think
else.
of any others. I was trying to. I'm sure there's someone nationwide that does. Yeah.
I'm sure there is, but making their own bread's not too bad. I mean, bread is finicky. It's hard, but I mean, it comes out. It's not super consistent, but I mean, people still like it. So I don't know.
But that's what makes it kind of cool, right? That it's not like this.
I think so. I think so. It always tastes good, but it's not always the best shape or whatever.
That's cool. No, I've seen photos and it's rad. Like it looks like homemade. It looks like your grandma made it.
It looks like homemade, exactly. So people love it, so we do it. And I had never done it at any of the restaurants I worked at. I was like, I don't care. I'll just get Miss Baird's or whatever. But we make it, and people really like it. We sell whole loaves pretty consistently. So that's
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So people can come buy a loaf.
yeah. People can come buy a loaf at $6 for a whole loaf.
And that's cool too, because you don't have to wait for like a pallet of bread to arrive. Like you guys are making it.
Yeah. That same. Yeah, it is just it's a lot of extra work, and you need the extra hands to do it, basically.
Yeah.
If anyone is looking to open a place, and
yeah, that's not something that you should probably do at the beginning.
you gotta have a bread person. Like then like they just make the bread. That's it. It's a very very long process.
Yeah. But we're talking to millions of people that were making bread over the pandemic, not necessarily successfully, but
that is true.
yeah. But there were a lot of people that were like at least trying. It was It was the thing for a little bit. So let's talk about your YouTube show. You said you started it when off camera. You said it started it off like during the beginning of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, I think I was just really bored during the pandemic, and I had these for the cinder block smoker. I had all these cinder blocks in my backyard for a whole hog pit, and I was like, okay, well, I want to do something else. I want to make an offset cinder block smoker. So I just went out there and I moved blocks around until it worked basically. And then I was like, this works really well. Like this is actually a really cool design. And I feel like, anyone, anywhere over the world, all over the world can make this. And, that was the idea. I wanted to bring barbecue to everyone's backyard, and for everyone to have a good offset, smoker.
And so that's so that I'm going to interrupt you. Okay, so for on his YouTube channel, and I was watching this last night. He builds an offset with cinder blocks, and it's like a couple $100 from Home Depot, like with all the and you build it step by step. And this is something I have never seen.
Yeah, no, I was just like, hey, this could be a good idea, and I thought it, it's done really well on my YouTube video. I don't know if anyone's actually built it, but there's a lot of views, so I mean, I think
Yeah. Okay, so if someone reach out to me or reach out to Johnny and send us a video or send us photos, I'm gonna now because I'm gonna promote that all your YouTube stuff separately too, because and I'll put a link below for the viewers if you're on the podcast or on YouTube. I'll put a link to that to building it, and it's neat because not everyone has the money or even the time, because some places are 12-15 months out.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are in your backyard and you're on a money crunch and you want a good offset like smoker just to start like practicing on, and then maybe build up to another one, the cinder block's the way to go.
Yeah,
definitely the way to go. I wish I would have thought of it a long time ago. I would have got better at cooking way quicker, honestly. So
had you ever seen anybody do that before?
I had never seen it now.
Yeah, and you cook, and then you have a video where you cook ribs on it too.
Yeah, I cooked some pork ribs on it, and I had done it before the video, and I was like, holy, like these turn out the exact same, like as a a little offset smoker or backyard smoker or whatever, or like the smokers at a restaurant, the 1,000-gallon smokers, like they looked exactly the same. I cooked them exactly as I would on a 1,000-gallon offset smoker, and you can cook hot, and it's big, it's very big, it's wide.
You need some space, yeah.
Yeah, it can hold a lot of meat, so you can cook pretty hot if you're not doing very much food. And it worked out. And you can use normal sized logs too. You don't have to cut any logs, which I thought was another.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and you show how to properly position, so you have venting and everything. Like you actually show. Yeah, it's crazy. You can't build that on your like balcony of your apartment, but you gotta have a little bit of a yard. But also too, I could see that kind of catching on. To be honest.
I hope so. I thought so when I kind of had the idea and I made the video. I was like, I think this will, but I think the main thing is people don't really like messing up their yards, which is okay. But because I also have I don't know if you can see this like welding stuff.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
I'm gonna start building some backyard smokers, like some really really cheap. Same thing, like I'm going to try to make these really, really cheap, really, really good backyard smokers, so anyone in their backyard can have one and can cook basically barbecue.
How did you get into this? I had no idea. How did you get into welding?
I actually just started learning maybe like 6 months ago.
Okay.
I just started. I just started to weld. I'm welding with Barbecue Rat or Terry. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I don't know if I do.
She was working at Goldee's, and then she wanted to build a smoker, so she started getting into welding stuff, and I was like, okay, well, I'll help you. And then we were both getting into welding stuff, and then we bought like a 500-gallon tank, and we're gonna build her a 500-gallon smoker, and then we're gonna build a bunch of backyard smokers.
Wow, at your house?
Yeah, at my house. Yeah.
Do you have a garage? You must have a garage, right?
I have like a tent thing, or not like a shed. I have a big shed.
Shed. Yeah, I was gonna say, or a shed. Wow, that's interesting. That's a fun side thing to do.
I hadn't really announced that yet on my Instagram or my YouTube or anything, but that's what's coming here really soon.
Okay, and what is the YouTube channel called, and what is the Instagram, because it's different than those?
The YouTube is Jirby BBQ, JIRBY BBQ, and then the Instagram should be Jirby JIRBY like underscore BBQ.
Yeah. So
Uh,
Jirby, is that a nickname?
yeah, Jirby is just the name I came up with because you kind of just need that name to go by basically. But Jirby is just like my name like J in front of Kirby, which is like who I play in Smash Bros. Like that's my favorite character is Kirby.
That's
I just
cool.
put it. I said I love Kirby, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just go by Jirby.
Yeah, no,
And
that's cool because
I think it's like a nice, like fun name. So I think it's memorable too. So I was like, and I had thought about a name forever, and then it just randomly came up, and I was like, that's perfect.
I
That's
love
a
that
great name.
name. I love it. No, because when we were writing it first, I'm like, who? Oh, wait, this is Johnny.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think well, I hadn't really done anything as YouTube, Instagram. I hadn't tried to push my Instagram or anything, and now I'm doing it as Jirby. So I think I'll just be known as Jirby, like going forward, basically. So
So this is kind of
uh,
like your coming out party to the name.
yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, I have time at the restaurant now to kind of do this stuff. We got things like in a system to where I can, I don't need to, do everything. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So,
Yeah. Not like day
system
one. Yeah,
we got a system, and now I got a lot of free time. So I mean, I'm gonna start pushing this stuff and see what happens. Basically,
that's cool. No, I'll promote all, like, I want people should watch all your videos. They're all interesting, and it's also cool because you are Johnny. You're yourself. It's not like you're not a persona. It's like they start filming and you're like, is it filming? Like it's kind of like it's relaxed, and it makes you
yeah,
feel like, and I hate, like, not to say like everyone could do this, but it's like it makes you feel comfortable that this is something I could, like, if you're watching, not that you can make the videos, but that you could do what you're doing. Like it makes
yeah,
you feel like you're accessible.
yeah. That's the whole vibe I want to do. I do want everyone to feel like they can do whatever I'm doing. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm making videos on an iPhone, and I'm use like a little mic plugged up to it. And I mean, if you're cooking barbecue right now, you should be videoing yourself cooking barbecue.
Yeah.
You want to go look at what you're doing.
But at least,
People
yeah, at least for yourself. Yeah.
at least for yourself, or still upload it. And
Yeah.
I think I've been doing this for a long time, and I think I have some really good info that I can share. So that's what I'm doing, because there's a lot of like bad barbecue info out there,
I agree.
and I kind of want to just I want to make I want to set things straight of what people actually do
Yeah.
in the bar.
So they can comment on your videos and you'll respond, or they could DM you any
Yeah,
questions.
they can DM me any questions you got on Instagram, or comment on. I reply to every comment on YouTube. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
it's
try.
not like it's not like it's the videos aren't blowing up yet. You know what I'm saying? They've
Yeah.
got the 500 to 1,000 views.
Yeah.
One like 10,000, but I'll reply to every comment. Man,
Yeah.
I got nothing else. So
And also too, do you teach on the side, or do you guys, and then you guys also are going to you teach classes at Goldie's too? Like I don't know during the pandemic if you were, but
we didn't really during the pandemic, but we did towards the end of the pandemic. I didn't really do it. I was doing some consulting, which is now what I'm also getting into.
okay.
Is these YouTube videos help, like get my name out there, and people can hit me up for consulting. So
Okay, cool. That's good to know. I was going to ask about that.
but now I do. Yeah, I do a lot of barbecue restaurant consulting, or back. I mean, I can do like I say consulting, but basically it could be like, I just come to your house and and I do a class at your house on your smoker, basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of the same thing, but you can also come to Goldie's and learn there and see what we do, and then figure out what you like to do on your smoker.
Yeah, because there's a link to like the word learn is on your main page. Now, is that something, are you guys going to be having specific classes, or is something where you reach out and say, hey, I want to learn, and then you set it up? How to
I want to set it up to where I do like these days where I do like big classes. But for right now, it's just you DM us or you message us, and we do one-on-one classes.
Okay.
Which are
But just
cool.
huge. That's better. That's
I think that's the best way to learn. But it's hard to do so many one-on-one classes basically every week, and trying to figure it out. So if I could do like a big class, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work on that right now.
So that's gonna, like, for the future, like, people should just keep following you and checking out and see.
Yeah. Keep following me, keep following Goldie's, and we'll have some updates on the classes and stuff like that. But like, and the YouTube videos, I'm teaching a lot of this. I mean, I think if I with the seasoning, trimming, anything I do on YouTube, I mean, I try to give like the best info I can. but I could talk about any of those subjects for just hours.
Yeah.
And so I try to put like the most like interesting or the best, the best stuff in there. But like I said, there's still so much that goes into all the seasoning, trimming, all that stuff that
Yeah, you can get a
that
lot off of YouTube, like a
you
lot,
do,
but
but there's still a lot more
so
that
much.
that I talk about, or you can learn at Goldee's and all that stuff. So and I'm not just saying that because I really do think that if
No, but doing it hands-on, it's for anything.
yeah,
It's like, yeah.
hands on is definitely different. So yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
I got a miniature schnauzer.
Oh yeah.
It just wants to play. It's just barking.
And what's his or her name?
Topolino.
Topolino?
Topolino.
And how did you get that name?
It's Terry's dog, so Terry named it Topolino.
Okay, no, it's just because like I saw in the very background, like he was going to the car, like to the door, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's just sitting.
Yeah,
Here.
he seemed like he's a dog. He's what he wants to.
Yeah, he wants some attention, which I give him all the time. It's just 1 hour where I didn't give him attention. So
but they want, they want, which is it's nice to have like a creature in your or something in your life that wants that much attention. It's
for sure.
unconditional. Yeah. So now, is there anything about Goldee's or about you that we haven't talked about? And what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
My favorite ice cream flavor, I think.
This is my first time asking this.
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh yeah.
That's what I loved it when I was growing up, and I haven't had it in a while, but that was my favorite growing up, and it probably is. I probably still like it a lot. But as far as Goldee's and me, I think I kind of touched on everything that the consulting, the pit building, the YouTube videos.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah. No, that's how it's been now, and I love it. I've really enjoyed doing all this stuff. So I'm hoping people really like it. I'm hoping it does well. But either way, there's a lot.
I think it should. It's to me when I was watching last night, I kept thinking, gosh, like this could be really big, just because it's so informative. It's different than other people, and there's like Bradley, like he does a lot. Like there's people that really know what they're doing, and they show what they're doing, and like Leroy and Lewis have their Patreon thing, and it's so informative. But yours there's something about it that I really love. So I'm going to again, there'll be links below, and then
mine. What I try to do is, I've watched all those videos. I've watched everyone's videos, and basically what I'm trying to do is not say anything that they've already said.
Yeah.
And
it seems like it
because because there is so much to learn and to do in the barbecue. There's so many variables and different things people do, and I already know what they're saying, and they already know what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
I mean, they the stuff I'm saying is a surprise to them either, but there's just so many techniques, and I just want to really put them all out there and see what people
and like this, like you're essentially saying this is how I do it, and
this is how I do it. This is how a lot of places do it, and just trying to get that out there.
Definitely. Are there any places to wrap it up? Are there any places that you want to go to barbecue wise that you've been seeing and you're like, I definitely want to check them out when I have some time? Anywhere.
I think I definitely need to go to Hurtado's. I think I think it's kind of messed up that I haven't gone to Hurtado's yet.
It kind of is.
I need to go to Hurtado's, and then I need to go. Dane's, Bricks, Panther City. I live in Fort Worth. I haven't been to any of them. I feel really bad, but I'm gonna try to do like a YouTube video where I hit them all up.
You should. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then other than that, I don't really know.
Sure, you'll think of something after we get off.
Right.
There's so many places that are killing it, that are everywhere.
And they're killing it, and I'm hoping I can help people get better and open more restaurants and get better and better and better.
And bring really good barbecue to their hometown outside of Texas, because I think that there's still places that are lacking. Like even Los Angeles, we have it's starting to be a handful. It's not a ton yet.
No, that's where barbecue places do the best, honestly, is outside of Texas. I swear. The consulting that I did in Egypt was insane. That was like
Wait. Did you go to Egypt with Mara?
Yeah. I went to Egypt for 3 months.
I didn't know this. I don't know why I didn't know this.
I didn't really post too much about it, but I went during the pandemic or whatever, towards the end of it, like Goldie's was super slow, and Mario hit me up, and I went there for 3 months with him and cooked barbecue in Egypt.
I'm like, this is like a whole other video now. All of a sudden, like
Right.
can you just like in like a little nugget what it's like to be in Egypt for 3 months during the
It was,
pandemic?
yeah, it was wild. It was honestly, it was wild, and I liked Egypt. I mean, I got to see the pyramids. That's really
That's
what I wanted
so
to
cool.
do.
Of course,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, of course, like bring in something that people think that I'm good at, as far as like cooking barbecue and bringing that over to Texas or to Egypt, was awesome. I mean, that's a huge deal for me.
What's up? What's
I
the
think
place called so we can give them a shout out?
Texas Longhorn Barbecue,
Okay.
or yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, I think our Longhorn Texas barbecue. It's something around that. I'll put a
Longhorn
link.
Texas. I don't know if it's I always got them mixed up. If it was Texas Longhorn Barbecue or Longhorn Texas Barbecue, something like that.
I'll put a link, and they have they have a couple locations, right?
He just opened another one,
Yeah.
in Egypt. So but like I said, that first one I worked at, or when we opened it up, it was nuts. It was extremely busy, extremely.
Okay, this is like a weird thing to say, but is it safe there?
Where I was at, it was safe. It was like it had to be the richest part of Egypt. I was outside of Cairo, and near the restaurant, safe. If you're staying near the restaurant, safe. I can't really speak for downtown Cairo or whatever, but or like near the pyramids, but where I was, very safe.
Was there any time? Was there any moment when you were there that you felt like not safe?
Like
I'm not disparaging what they're doing. I'm just wondering. Because like I was like curious because I'd like to go to Egypt someday, but you have to be.
No, I never felt unsafe. There was like they're like when you're a tourist and they know you're a tourist or whatever, they definitely do try to scam you when you go to the pyramids. So keep a lookout for that for sure. I got scammed, which is
What you bought like a T-shirt or a necklace with a pyramid on or something?
No, basically I wanted to ride the camels around the pyramids. And I got up on the camel, and I was like, like they wouldn't really tell me the price before I got on there. And then once I got up on that camel, they were like, it's $120. And I was like, I was like, get me off this camel. And they're like, no, it's fine. And just so pushy. And I mean, and then I was like, I mean, I do really want to ride this camel, but I mean, it's $120. And so I got done and I got off, and I was like, I asked the owner, and then I asked some of the employees at the restaurant. I was like, hey, is it normally that much to ride the camel? And then they all just started laughing, and they're like, no, it should be like $10. It should be like $10. And I was like, oh my god. So I got hard, and I was pretty upset. And then, but I never felt like unsafe. I was just like,
yeah.
And if you are a tourist there, and you do feel unsafe, if you just like just start talking about like the police or something like that, they back off.
Okay.
I had to do that a couple times where they were really hounding me, and I was like, I'm gonna go tell the police or the military or the security or whatever, and they freak out. So I think they don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. No, and I know what you're getting at too, because like you wouldn't want to deal with it. Did you go inside any of the pyramids?
I did. I crawled inside the biggest one.
Which one is that, Ramses or? I know, I'm a nerd about it. Like it's something like ever since I was a child. This is like you've gone somewhere that I've always wanted to go.
No, you should. They actually are insane. Like I got a bunch of pictures, and I got there, and I was like, I didn't really think that those those like alien conspiracy theories and stuff like that would be like very real. But once I saw how big those blocks were, I was like,
it's hard to believe that's
how they did this. And then I saw how big it was, like how tall it was, and I was like, I don't
know. When you crawled inside, and they're perfectly shaped blocks, they're all perfect. But was it claustrophobic when you crawled?
Oh yeah. I crawled up this really, really, like they made it to where they didn't want people to rob it, right? Like they had someone buried in there with a lot of like jewelry and stuff. They wanted to make it as hard as possible to get up there. And it absolutely was. Like it was really, really hard to get up there. And but someone still yeah, like back in the day stole, you know, everything in there. So it was really just a box in there
Yeah.
where it was buried.
I think I've seen video of where it is, and it's like a big, yeah, like a sarcophagus, not like a tomb. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a room with a box, and I was like, damn, I just, you know, I crawled up like 1,000 feet up like a small tunnel. It was like literally like I couldn't move. It was just a small tunnel with like little wooden blocks like nailed into it, so you could have like some grip. But like it was just a little tiny tunnel that was really really steep, very steep.
Is that the only way you can get out too?
Yeah, I just had to crawl right back down it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, more power to you. Do you have photos of that?
It was intense. I mean, I was having trouble breathing, and it was super hot. It was a really hot day, and I was in this pyramid, but I was like, I got to see what's going on.
I think that's how I die. I feel like that's how I die.
Right. Like I could definitely. I mean, it's pretty dangerous. They don't even really give you a warning or anything. I mean, they just let you know you bought a ticket. You're going
Just
up.
do it. It's not like in America. It's like you're not that high height. You're not gonna.
No matter how big, small, you know, out of shape, whatever. Like, you're
That's
going
wild.
up this thing. You already bought the ticket.
Yeah. But I've never heard of anybody dying doing it. So, but I guess you would. Maybe you wouldn't hear. Maybe they just keep that quiet. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so you are consulting's a big part of your business. So if you want, you've done that in Egypt. You've done it a number of times. So that's something that when people want to reach out and do consulting.
Yeah. Email me, DM me, anything, and we'll just talk. And I kind of just do it case by case, like, you know, what the payment and stuff like that. I just do it like I kind of hear what you do, and then I just kind of, you know, make up a price that works for both of us.
Nice.
I want to do it too. Like, I'm not like trying to get it like a bunch of money. I'm just I need to cover like, you know, what I would make at Goldee's or whatever, but that's pretty much it if I leave for a weekend, you know what I'm saying? So
okay, nice. Well, thank you, Jonny, for taking the time. And I'm sure there's like you and I could probably talk for another 2 hours, but this is great. This is a great first episode, and we'll check back in maybe in a few months. And it was so nice to meet you.